Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I don't know, maybe Sologenic is starting to win me over. You guys remember Sologenic, created by Coinfield? Well, I've got a new video. What's on the screen right now, there's a video clip of Bob Ross. He's the CEO of Coinfield running the Sologenic product, and he's got some, I'd say, glaringly, obviously positive things to say about what Sologenic would do for XRP, specifically XRP, the digital asset, not just recognition for the XRP ledger, because of course this whole project is being built on top of the XRP ledger. But no, he's stating specifically XRP, the native digital currency to the XRP ledger. So I'm going to share with you some of the points that he made, and I'm going to give it a little refresher, of course, because the news of Sologenic came out within the last, I can't remember, it's been 6 weeks or so. It's been a little while. There's too much news out there. I can't remember the timeline for it all, but this video clip is new here. So I'm going to be sharing that with you. Other than that, I got a couple tweets from the XRP community, and then I'll wrap up the video with an article from Daily Hodl titled "Millennials Opting for Bitcoin Investment Over Netflix and Disney," reports Charles Schwab. How about that? But before we go any further, if you would please delicately tap that like button, and if you are a fan of Ripple and XRP, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel. It's the best thing that you'll have done in the entire calendar year of 2019. Maybe. Or maybe not. I don't know. But you should do it anyway. Give it a try, If you don't like it, you can unsub. That's cool. All right, let's go ahead and dig in here. So this is from XRP Arcade. And this was written on October 15th, so I just want to run through this real quick to make sure that we all have proper context before diving into the latest news on this. All right. Coinfield, a Canadian cryptocurrency exchange that uses XRP as a base currency, has been preparing an XRP ledger project for some time now. Details of the project have now been revealed on Coinfield's website. Coinfield has introduced Sologenic, a sophisticated ecosystem that facilitates users with investing, trading, and on-demand tokenization of assets such as stocks, ETFs, and fiat on top of the XRP ledger. A tokenized stablecoin of TSLA stock or USD fiat is presented as TSLA, and then the little sign right there, the little backward small s, or USD with little backward small s, respectively. These stable coins are tradable and redeemable against XRP and Solo on both Coinfield Exchange and XRP Ledger decentralized exchange. Now that part's significant, and I'm gonna, as I get into the newer part of this from today, you'll see why. But specifically, that sentence: these stable coins are tradable and redeemable against XRP. So that's an easy off ramp right there. But it gets even better than you might realize. Moreover, Sologenic will deploy Solo coins for market making and liquidity providing. Solo coins will be issued on the XRP ledger, allowing liquidity to be moved almost instantly. This will create a dynamic bridge between crypto assets and non-blockchain based assets by being paired directly with fiat to settle with third-party brokerage firms. Solo will be able for trading on Coinfield's existing exchange, Coinfield's upcoming decentralized exchange, and other major global exchanges. They're also preparing a couple of other products. Now, 3 more bullet points, then I'm going to hop to the news portion from today, which you're going to want to hear. So, bullet point 1 of 3. A decentralized XRP ledger exchange. The exchange built on top of the XRP ledger enables users to trade issued tokens, tokenized assets for Solo or XRP. 2. Tokenized assets trading. Solo holders have access to a wide range of stocks from over 25 global exchanges. The infrastructure connects traditional financial systems with blockchain-based assets and enables cryptocurrency trades against any asset class. 3. Crypto cards. Solo holders are eligible to obtain a free crypto card to spend their cryptos instantly anywhere in the world. Solo holders have various benefits with the crypto cards, such as monthly cashback, airport lounge access, and discounts on select hotels and private events. Okay, so now we're all caught up to speed. Here's what you need to know about this. The biggest point was that XRP, thanks to the Sologenic project, XRP will be able to be traded against 30,000 stocks and ETFs. Those are exchange-traded funds. 30,000. And Bob Ross, the CEO of CoinField, he made the point, and I think it's a fair one. He said, look, people get excited when XRP gets added as a base pair on exchanges, just like, two or three instances, two or three base pairs. And what we're talking is not just 2 or 3. We're talking 30,000. He's saying effectively it's the same. And you can imagine what that does for the movement of XRP and liquidity. So that's specifically what he's citing right here. Now, there are those that have expressed concerns, and it's fair to bring up, that with all these transactions taking place on the XRP ledger, not all of which are going to specifically utilize the movement of XRP, that could cause network congestion. But my stance on that, and I'd be curious to hear if you have a different take on it, if you want to drop a comment below, my stance on that is, look, we're nowhere near bumping to get up against 1,500 transactions per second ultimately on the XRP ledger on-chain. But if there's worldwide adoption, at some point that's going to happen anyway. And so either this thing's going to scale or it's not. And as the adoption of the XRP ledger grows organically, and this is part of it, even if XRP is not being used for every single transaction on ledger here, even if that's the case, like, we already knew that this was a possibility. So it's more like kind of one of those things where it's going to die or thrive on its own merits. And in terms of scaling, I think it's been made pretty clear that there are solutions in the coffer here. So I don't suspect that's going to be a problem. As you start approaching that 1,500 transactions per second, then it'll suddenly become a priority to work on that further. But of course, the creators of the XRP ledger, David Schwartz included, and employees working at Ripple who are well versed with this stuff, they're aware conceptually of the potential conflict, if you want to call it that. And so, to me, I don't think that it's going to be a big deal. Another thing that he said is going to help, and to me, and I don't remember functionally how this works. I can't remember if each solo coin is backed 1-to-1. It didn't cite in that article. Just kind of popped in my head. It might be the case that each solo coin is backed 1-to-1. I'd have to look. I'm not going to stop the video to go try and research that while I'm talking to you. But what he said was, the other point that he said is that with each transaction, XRP has to be burned. And so if that's the case, I'm wondering if since there's an IOU because that's what the solo coin would be, right? It'd be an IOU issued utilizing the XRP ledger. I don't functionally know exactly how that burns the XRP unless there's some sort of tie-in with a certain amount of XRP being held, but I can't recall that off the top of my head. I'd have to look into that. Maybe I can report back in the future. But he was stating that XRP would be burned, and that would be good for the ecosystem because it, of course, would diminish the supply there. So those are kind of the cases that he were making there. So we'll just have to see to what degree this is actually adopted. I don't know. It's just your guess is as good as mine on that. I'm just reporting on it here. But as far as whether or not this is good, I'm understanding further why David Schwartz says, generally speaking, any entity that's building on top of the XRP ledger, it's probably going to be good for XRP. And I'm paraphrasing there, but David Schwartz had stated something to that effect. And as I'm hearing Bob Ross explain more about this, it's becoming conceptually more clear. So even if there are a few question marks, we don't know the specifics, there's potential downsides in terms of network congestion, even though we're still, again, nowhere near 1,500 transactions per second. On the whole, it should, if I had to guess, be a positive thing. It's just a matter of to what degree. And so there you go. All right, next, here's a tweet from XRP Marks the Spot. And this is just a really nice one, so I had to highlight this and just shout out to you, XRP Marks the Spot. I want to say thank you very much. And so he wrote on Twitter here, honestly, Moon Lambo is the YouTuber I listen to the most these days. Solid stream of daily content, a lot of nice length vids, giving cred to where he gets his info. And one of my fave things is when he will pull up all the chart analysts at any given moment and compare their sentiment. Well, that really kind of makes my day. Like, seriously, I hope you're listening right now. Like, I can't tell you how much I really genuinely appreciate that. So thank you very much. And I had to give you a shout out after such a nice tweet like that. All right, next here, here's a tweet from Crypto Penny CO that I came across. Galgatron. This is to Galgatron. Do you still feel the same way today? And then he's referencing a part of a Galgatron blog from August of last year, and the snippet highlighted here that CryptoPenny CO was curious about stated, the fact that the SEC hasn't passed a judgment on XRP yet shows me that they are giving Ripple the time needed to transition XRP to a non-security. Galgatron responded today, this afternoon, by stating, sure. They've handed down other penalties to other coin issuers, so I think they're mostly focused on bad actors rather than trying to interpret the letter of the law against a new paradigm. We're all waiting for clear legislation. I would really be curious to hear what the rest of you think about that. I have often pondered that myself. Is it the case that well, obviously there's not enough clarity. That's the reason I'm fumbling and bumbling over my words. I'm trying to decide how I want to frame this. I just kind of wondered, it's like XRP kind of in no man's land. Do they just want it to reach a certain point where it could not be more crystal clear that XRP isn't a security? I mean, to me, it seems like it already is, but from their perspective, they want to hit some sort of benchmark that it has not yet hit, and then they're like, okay, now we'll deem it not a security or something to that effect. It's worth questioning. I don't have a firm answer in that, but to Galgatron's point, and I've made this point as well in the past, you don't let a company like Ripple, if they're a bad actor, sell their security for over 7 years. You don't just let them fly by while you bust all these little ICOs for doing what would conceptually be the same thing. So XRP is not a security. It's not going to be deemed a security. There's no freaking way. I don't believe that for a moment. But I don't know how long it's going to take for it to be, quote unquote, cleared. But hopefully at some point that would just happen. And it kind of gives me hope that since other major governments are going that direction, specifically providing clarity as it pertains to XRP, like in the UK, for example, the Financial Conduct Authority citing XRP as a utility cryptocurrency. That's one example right there. So that's a direction that I think every country is going to ultimately go. Who knows what the timeline is going to look like. All right, last article in this video. Millennials opting for Bitcoin investment over Netflix and Disney, reports Charles Schwab. How about that? Millennials would rather have exposure to Bitcoin than invest in Netflix or Disney, according to the latest analysis from Charles Schwab. A new report from the investment giant shows millennials are opting to buy Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust, which is backed by Bitcoin instead of shares of Microsoft, Walt Disney, Netflix, or Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. The report also shows millennials in particular are allocating a larger portion of their investment portfolios to cash and exchange-traded funds, ETFs, compared to other investors. Mutual funds and Apple stocks continue to make up the largest holding in the account of all age groups, Charles Schwab reveals. And here's a quote now. SDBAs are brokerage accounts within retirement plans, including 401k and other types of retirement plans, which participants can use to invest in stocks, bonds, ETFs, mutual funds, and other financial securities that are not part of their retirement plan's core investment offerings. And then it wraps up by stating Gen X investors made up around 42% of the approximately 142,000 retirement plan participants, while baby boomers and millennials made up 39% and 13% respectively. And the report's data also confirms that mutual funds still hold the largest percentage of participants, with baby boomers allocating approximately 39% of their portfolios to them. And I'll tell you, part of the reason that this article caught my eye, it's fascinating to me because despite the bearishness in the world of cryptocurrency, particularly in 2018, and there's been a little bit of recovery in the first half of this year and then not so hot as of late, despite all of that, this is still the sentiment. Isn't that interesting? Look, I'm just telling you, cryptocurrencies, whether we're right or wrong about Bitcoin and XRP, and I'm Mr. XRP Bull, don't get me wrong, but whether we're right or wrong about this, cryptocurrencies are here to stay, period. But that's it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!